Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday. I hope that your Monday was as good as it can be and that today's been going well as well. Let me get you guys up on screen to see who is in that live chat room tonight. And thank you guys for joining me so early on in that chat room with the early birds who are always tuning in about 30 or 40 minutes before. I'm just setting everything up at that time. But hello to you. And I was just in the middle of, while Percy Johnson there was playing back, I was in the middle of starting the poll, as you might be able to see on the live chat room, because I haven't done that yet. And over on Patreon, you guys have requested either Free Falling, I think Don't Slow Down was another one that I saw. So I'm going to type those both in. And I'm going to click on Ask the Community, and that should be available to vote on for the poll. And you can see it in the live chat room. At the top of that, it should minimize itself after a while, and there it goes. So that's something you guys can vote on to hear either of those. Thank you guys for letting me know what you want to hear over on Patreon and for requesting Percy Johnson to open up the live stream with tonight. So let me get the names of my patrons up on screen because they make this all possible in the first place. So thank you guys. You know who you are, and their names always go across the bottom of the screen during the live streams that happen on a Tuesday night and a Saturday night. Anytime we live stream, you'll be able to see my patrons' names at the bottom of the screen, as you can see them starting now. So they also pop up in the live chat room, of course, and the super chat window, the PayPal donations window as well. And we can see Orlando going through already with a donation in the super chat window. But Orlando did donate before we went live as well, so thank you for that, Orlando, and it was a donation of $2. Thank you for that. The message is, I am the 37th like. Spike the likes with lots of thumbs up. So that's a good cue in order to get the live likes up on screen. We are at 120 at the moment, so if you can hit that thumbs up, that'd be much appreciated. Orlando was the 37th like, and we are going to be aiming for, I think it might be 300. It is 300 likes tonight. So a big target for a Tuesday night live stream, but we will see if we can get there. We are at 122 at the moment. If you haven't used your thumbs up token, now is a fantastic time to do that. I know that there have been some donations over on PayPal as well, so thank you guys for those. Let me get the percentages up on screen so you guys have a lay of the land. 35 to 45% go to YouTube through the Super Chat donations, and on PayPal it's between 3 and 5%. So, just going to mention that there was a donation that I had quite a while ago that came in from Linda Z. So just to let Linda Z know that I have received that, thank you very much for that donation. And thank you guys for the donations before the live stream. And there was another one of those that came in from Lynn, who donated £50. Thank you so much for that, Lynn. And let me get this up on screen so you guys can see it as well, because we're going to scroll down to the message, and the message is, as a favour for our Patrick Blum, here's to celebrate 15th of September to 15th of October, Hispanic Heritage Month in the US. Hola, Patrick, in the catch-up crew. So, a big hello to Patrick in the future if you're watching this in the catch-up crew. But thank you for that, Lynn, and a very happy Hispanic Heritage Month to everybody out there who might be celebrating that during the month. So it's from the 15th to the 15th. So it's kind of 2 months, half of 2 months together. But anyway, thank you for that, Lynn. And I think I might have to go to a different place to get the other donations, because that one came in very early from Lynn, so thank you for that. It was 14 minutes past 10 tonight, but let me look at another one that came in. Actually, they all came in before we went live, so let's have a look at these, and I'll get them back up on screen so we can see, because Deborah donated £6 as well before the live stream. Thank you for that, Deborah. And it's exactly the same message pretty much that we get from Deborah, who says this is a request for Patrick Blum, or Bloom. Here in the UK would say Blum, but because it's like plum, but with a B. And it says September the 15th through October 15th is Hispanic Heritage Month. So thank you for that, Deborah, as well. And scrolling up, we now have Steve, who has donated £5. Thank you for that, Steve. And the message is, if you could construct a band behind you and your guitar from any and all players past and present, who would you pick and why? Thank you for that, Steve. I think we've had this asked before on the live stream, and I pretty much said that I'd have Jimi Hendrix in my band just because I want to listen to Jimi Hendrix play. Yeah, in terms of, I don't know, on bass, the thing is that I would probably just pick people that I want to listen to playing bass behind me. So I'd literally just turn around and listen to the band that I have made up behind me. I mean, being a huge Jimi Hendrix fan, okay, on drums, I'd have Mitch Mitchell, just so I've got most of the Jimi Hendrix experience there. Maybe Tommy Shannon on bass. I mean, that's a strong lineup there, I would say. And yeah, then just obviously me doing some singing, attempting to at the front of the stage. But then again, even on lead guitar, I'd probably just hand that over to Jimmy and just say, look, I'll play rhythm. It's absolutely fine. You can go to the front of the stage and do what you will. So yeah, just off the top of my head, I can't remember. I probably picked other people last time that I was asked to come up with the band, but I can't remember who I would have put in there. But just pretty much the names that come into my head this very second is just the names that I'm going to be putting into the band. So the dream band or the band who I would just like to listen to, putting those guys together and seeing what they came up with. But yeah, I mean, maybe throwing in Neil Peart on drums. I mean, again, I just put the whole of Rush behind me. That would be another band that I just turn around and just say, okay guys, you just play, and I know that I'm in the band, but I'm just going to listen to you guys play, but experience it from actually being on stage, because that would have been immense. But yeah, so there we go. I don't know whether, I might have put Geddy Lee on bass in my other dream band. But anyway, I think pretty much every time I get asked it, I'll come up with different people. But those, just take any of those that I've just named. But thank you, Steve, for that. It is one of those subjects, we could go through that all night, just substituting different players on the instruments, just great players of the past. I mean, Steve Ray Vaughan, imagine having him in your band on guitar as well. Or I could just have like 2 bassists, 2 drummers, 2 guitarists, and then me at the front of the stage, or even just multiple instrumentalists, just all of the people that I want to listen to, just being on the same stage with them. But anyway, thank you for that, Steve, and it is one of those that we could go on all night talking about that one. But also thank you, Renee, who has donated £5 as well. And the message is to help Percy Johnson get out of his ongoing predicament. So thank you for that. And it's going to take quite a lot. I think the people that took his family hostage, and this is all fictional, by the way, not a real story, but they were asking for 3 million. I think they gave 1 million and then said they needed 2 million more. So yeah, quite a hefty price for Percy, unfortunately. So we were just putting together as much as we can. £5 is the start. Thank you for that, Renee. But we were just actually tuning in to see how Percy was getting on at the beginning of the live stream. But yeah, he's still in the same predicament. So thank you, Renee, for that donation. And just to get things a little bit organized in that live chat room, let me move this down a little bit so we can see, or I can see, that at the moment Free Falling is at 63% of the vote for tonight. So keep on clicking on that. The other song in there is Don't Slow Down, and that's by Mr. of course, and Free Falling, Tom Petty. So you can vote for that cover tonight, and it's going to be my version of either of those tracks, but it looks like Free Falling is in the lead at the moment with that 63%. So we have had a little spike of the likes. We're at 149 likes so far. Thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up and for spiking it. We're almost halfway to our target of 300, and I forgot to I didn't forget to spike the likes, but I forgot to plug the mug when Orlando said to spike the likes. So just water in the mug tonight, nothing extravagant, but if you want to get your hands on the Wings of Pegasus mug, then you can do. There's a few other designs of it, different colours. There's a purple and white one, a black and white one, and the design of Let's See How They Get On, and there we have it, and it also says that on it. But if you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise and the mugs, then click on the tray underneath this video, or you can click on the link in the description below, spring.com. It will take you through to the storefront, and you can see all of the merchandise there, the hoodies, t-shirts, all of that cool stuff. Also, over at wingsofpegasus.com/merch, you can get picks, guitar picks, obviously, necklaces that have a pick on there. And this is Carla that organises everything over there, with earrings as well. So yeah, lots of other merchandise over at wingsofpegasus.com that you can check out. And on the merchandise front, I have sent an email and received one back from Stephanie over at Spring, and she's going to organise or put together a few designs for the hats, the new hats, and they're called bucket hats. I remembered what they're called because we don't really wear them a lot, I think, in this country, but I will get one as soon as they become available, so I can maybe model one on a live stream. But the bucket hats should be coming out soon on the store. I'll wait for Stephanie to let me know that they are up there, and as soon as they are, I'll let you guys know over on Patreon. It might be the case that I know before I'm doing a live stream, so it means that if I know and it's not a live stream night, then I'll let you guys know over on Patreon. I'll do a little post to give you an update to let you know that they are available. So I mean, just catching up with everything on the channel. Last time I did mention about, well, the fact that we've passed 190,000 subscribers. So thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up during not only the live streams, but the analysis videos and just watching the videos, commenting on the videos as well. The thumbs up and comments and all that kind of stuff, all the interaction really helps the channel to grow, as well as for these live streams to get out there when we hit our likes goals and we get a few thumbs up. It all really does help. So thank you everyone for just ensuring the growth of the channel, but just for joining me on these live streams as well. Let's have a little look into the live chat room, because we didn't do that because I was still a little bit behind with setting up the whole poll for tonight, for these songs. So we have Robert in there, we have Corey and Maria and Michael and John, and Deborah's in there as well, and Carla's in there moderating, and Lynn and Joni and Carl, and they're going through a little bit more slowly tonight, or because I've left it a little bit later. Normally at the beginning of the live streams they're going through super quickly, but at least I can read them. And Tom G and Susan and Dennis are in their house as well. So hello to you and everybody else that is in there. Thank you for joining me tonight. And you can see as Laurie goes through, we have the blue and the wrench. That is when the person is a moderator. So Laurie is a moderator, and you better see Carla going through there as well. Good timing. Carla's in there, and you'll also maybe see Neil going through the three moderators. And a huge thank you to you moderators for doing such a fantastic job in the live stream and keeping that live stream and the live chat room such a great place to be, and keeping that community feel at the forefront the whole time. So thank you guys for that. Now, if you are a Facebook user, you can also head over to facebook.com and type in Wings of Pegasus supporters group, and you'll be able to join in there with everything going on. You can upload your pictures of any merchandise that you might have, and then I'll grab them and upload them to my software so that I can show them on the live streams. And we've got quite a few members over there. I think that the majority of the live chat room head over there as well in between live streams. So if you want to get involved there, you can do. If this is your first live stream, hello to you. Just introduce yourself to the live chat room. That's how it all starts. And everybody starts out just saying hello, and then we all get to know each other. And we've got quite a few members of the live chat room now, but it's still just enough to keep a track of everybody and for me to recognize people's names, especially when we're doing the pick roulette. That is another thing that really does help to keep everybody's names up on screen, and we all get to know each other through that, as well as the winners and the unfortunate losers. Now, I haven't picked my top tip for tonight, and I'm going to do this early tonight to see who is definitely going to lose, unfortunately, because my top tip always loses. And I'm looking at the wheel. That's why I look like I'm concentrating, because I'm trying to see some of the names going through. And I'm going to pick Mel Bell. So Mel Bell is going to be my tip-top pick for tonight's pick roulette. And Mel Bell, I'm going to write that down just so that she can't get away with it, and just in case it does land on Mel, I don't want to forget who I have picked, because I haven't yet done it correctly. So apologies for that, Mel, or maybe I should have asked if somebody wants to be picked, because I've just now maybe put that kiss of death on Mel, unfortunately, because I haven't got one right so far. But that's just the way we roll, and we're rolling tonight on the live stream that it has been a random pick of Mel for tonight. And let me just get back into the PayPal window as well, because we had another donation that came in from Lucy. So thank you for that, and it was for £5. And the message is, howdy Phil, fellow wingers and new wingers, for some healthy eats. Oh, Phil Toon, Phil Toon, Phil Toon, Phil Toon, please. With a smiley face, rock horns, heart, and peace. So thank you for that, Lucy. And I'm not sure as to whether we'll have time. We might have time to get a cartoon in at the end. if we hit our Pick Roulette likes goal of 300, then we always need a little bit more time at the end of the live stream in order for you guys to type I agree, and maybe we'll be able to watch a cartoon then. I'm not sure, but we will see. Maybe you guys can let me know in the live chat room which cartoon you want to see. Or maybe, yeah, pick a couple or a few. I can have a look into the live chat room and see what the general consensus is. And maybe we can either do another vote or I can just pick one at random. So if you guys know the cartoons, if you've seen them before, just type in one that you want to see, and then I can pick that for maybe a little bit later on if we have enough time in order to do that. So, thank you for the donations in the super chat window as well. Just to jump into there, Orlando has donated $2. Thank you for that, Orlando. Again, the message is a reminder: spike the likes with lots of thumbs up. So, great reminder. Again, let's keep that likeometer ticking over, and we'll see where it ends up. Also, Mike has donated $5, so thank you for that, Mike. And the message is, who is Rory Gallagher's bass player? So thank you for that, Mike. And I just had a total mental blank. I was just about to say his name, and now my brain will not allow me to get his name. And okay, this is really annoying. This is something. Something that happens. Unfortunately, my brain just has totally denied me access. So that is fantastic. So thank you for that, brain. But thank you for that, Mike, the donation. And I will have to wait until later on in the live stream, when this is really going to annoy me, when my brain actually allows me to access this information. And this has happened before on a live stream, I think, but that's the closest I've got to actually saying the name and then getting the block. Anyway, thank you for that, Mike. And this, well, to put it in perspective, myself and Donal Logue are talking about Rory Gallagher on this very channel. We are chatting about not only Rory, but the whole band. So it's probably going to be quicker just to jump over to the video rather than waiting for me to get this out of my head. But anyway, thank you for that, Mike. And Ginny has donated $8 as well. So thank you for that, Ginny. And the message is, a fellow winger suggested a GoMe fund for Percy. Oh, a GoFundMe for Percy. Laugh out loud. I would take the Funk Brothers for my band or the Wrecking Crew. Take care. So thank you for that, Ginny. And yeah, the Wrecking Crew, definitely a strong choice there. Just lots of top musicians, and I mean, pretty much on every single hit of the 1960s. So thank you for that, Ginny. And thank you for, again, this is going to bug me now in the back of my mind. The more I think about, the more I'm not going to get it. It's just something that's going to happen. I'm sure you guys can understand. Or hopefully it's not just me that this happens to, where your brain just gives you a mental block. And you're so close to knowing, well, you know it, but you're so close to saying it and getting it, but then your brain is just putting a block in the way. But anyway, I'm sure it'll come to me by the end of the live stream and my brain will give me access to it. But it just so happens that we're not going to have it for tonight so far. And Michelle has actually saved me. And it's $5 the donation. Thank you for this, Michelle. And it's Jay McAvoy, the bassist. And thank you for that. But actually, it's Jafar Roy. So obviously, Michelle has typed it really quickly to let me know. So thank you for that. And as you could probably tell, that maybe if I rewind, my mouth might have been starting to say the right, but then I got stopped. Anyway, thank you for that, and for at least allowing me now for the rest of the live stream to think clearly and not have that in the back of my mind. It is the worst thing when you've got something that is just nagging away at you at the back of your mind. But thank you for, also that has answered Mike's question, so thank you for that, Michelle, for answering Mike's question and yeah, keeping that organized. So I know I can just say that I've got so many things in my head that they tend to overlap each other, and yes, some of them are very difficult to access. So thank you for that. Thank you for all of the donations, guys, in the Super Chat window tonight. Also for the PayPal donations as well. I know that there has been another one that's come in there. So let me quickly jump over to that. I'm going to try and keep everything organised. I always say that. It very rarely happens. But I'm going to try and keep everything organised with the live stream tonight so that we can have the pick roulette with a little bit of time at the end for a cartoon, as that has been requested. I'll try and keep everything moving along nice and swiftly, and almost at 200 likes tonight. So keep on hitting that thumbs up if you do get a chance. If you haven't used that thumbs up token yet, it'd be much appreciated in order to ensure that we have another pick roulette next week. So if you want to join in on a Tuesday and a Saturday, you can double your chances of winning that signed pick. And if we do hit the target, it ensures that we have it. So keep on hitting that thumbs up, be much appreciated. So getting into this donation over on PayPal, and it is Deborah who has donated £7.01. Thank you for that, Deborah. And the message is Dre McAvoy is the bass player. So thank you for that, Deborah. And thank you guys for all of the donations and messages, ensuring that I actually see the messages as well. So thank you for that. And I'm sure that if I just looked into the live chat room, there would be probably a lot of you guys, because you are so knowledgeable, a lot of you guys will be typing it in that live chat room. I should have maybe just looked in there as soon as it didn't quite come out. But thank you for that. And there's Neil. I mentioned Neil moderating in there as well. So thank you guys, moderators, for all of your work that you get through. It is really work on the Tuesday nights and Saturday nights. It is hard work sometimes keeping the trolls under control. I don't think you can really control trolls. You just have to try and ignore them as much as possible. But fortunately, we do pretty well here on the channel. Touch wood for the future that we can continue to do well. And just touching the top of my guitar there. Fortunately, there's always a guitar within arm's reach, so I can definitely touch wood. And I'm not sure, knock on wood, is that, I know that somebody mentioned that in the live stream before, that the American version is knock on wood. And I'd be interested, like Neil has mentioned about our viewers over in Australia. I don't know if over in Australia there's a different term for knock on wood, touch wood, and basically to get rid of something, like you are going to like curse yourself, or yeah, you're going to make something happen that you don't want to happen, so you touch wood to make sure it doesn't happen. Hopefully that makes sense. So if maybe Neil can let us know if there is a similar expression over in Australia or other expressions around the world. Why not? Let's see how many we can get. But we've got knock on wood and touch wood. Those are the two from the USA and the UK so far. Anyway, thank you, Deborah, for that donation and the message. And there has been another one that's just popped in there. And Patricia has donated £2 as well. Thank you for that, Patricia. And the message is, Happy Tuesday, Phil. Apologies if you've answered previously. That earlier question made me wonder, if you were putting together your top all-female band with individual players, what players would you pick? Relax. You wouldn't have to be the front man / woman. So thank you for that, Patricia. Again, this is going to be really difficult, but I mean, this is going to be really predictable. The fact that I've been talking about, I've been talking about Joan and June, the Millington sisters, recently on the channel, from Fanny, of course, the band. So I'm going to say just the whole band can back me up anytime, even if I don't have to be the front man, front woman. I mean, just listening to them would be fantastic. And also the fact that I've mentioned about June appearing on the channel in the future, it's actually thank you, Patricia, for that message. It's quite a good little doorway into talking about getting June on the channel, but also talking about, Fanny, the band, looking at one of her performances and hopefully doing a joint analysis of one of their performances, which will be really cool to do on the channel. So yeah, I'll just have the whole of Fanny, the band, just playing. In terms of, I mean, I have mentioned in the past about Orianthe on the channel being a guitar. Maybe we could have Orianthe in the same band. We could all get together, and yeah, I could just have lots of people in the band. Maybe just get everybody together. I mean, I am very much of the view that men or women, it doesn't really matter. It's just musicians. So I know that some guys, especially back in the 70s, I mean, guys who actually ran the industry, unfortunately, didn't see Fanny as a legitimate rock band because it was all women. For some reason, they were seen as more of a novelty than an actual rock band, who are great, which is just ridiculous. So yeah, that is a shame that was very much, I mean, I'm sure that kind of thing still goes around. These people that haven't quite developed their brains yet to accept that everybody's equal. But yes, certainly nowadays, male, female, I'm not really bothered. It doesn't make any difference to me if I'm analysing a particular video. Whoever the artist is, they are an artist, and that is just a person putting out their art. So it's all just as legitimate as the next and the previous. So yeah, but anyway, thank you, Patricia, for that. And I mean, these are the kind of topics that, you could talk about for a very long time. I mean, talking about guitarists as well. I mean, Jennifer Batten, I could throw her in there, another amazing guitarist. But like I said, let me not get down too far down that road, because yeah, I'll be talking for ages about it. And it looks like it's 25 to 12 already in the live stream. So I'll try and keep things organized, as I said, but thank you, Patricia, for that donation. And Lisa has donated £5 as well. So thank you for that, Lisa. And the message is, are you recovered from your unscheduled football game? So thank you for that. And just to let everybody know that I played a surprise game of soccer, a match of soccer on Sunday. And that was a game that I wasn't predicting on playing, or I wasn't expecting on playing, because my dad woke me up at 9 a.m. in order to tell me that, because he plays football on Sundays, and he said, oh, we're a person short, can you play, please? So of course I said, initially I said no, and just tried to ignore him. But then I said, oh, okay, yeah, I will. But I'd gone to bed at about 6, maybe half 6. When I go to bed, I don't go to sleep straight away, so I probably got to sleep about half 6 or 7, and then got woken up at 9, and then had to play football. Obviously, my body was in a bit of a shock mode because it wasn't expecting on playing football 2 hours after going to bed. So, yeah, I played football, and then after that, I still maybe dozed off for like half an hour, maybe. But yeah, because it's on Sunday, it's a video night, so it meant I had to get into which video I was going to do a little bit of prep for that, get everything organised. So yeah, I didn't have time to catch up on any sleep. But the problem was, because the last time I played football or soccer was the last time I played soccer, which was months and months ago, my legs very much weren't ready to do a sprint or multiple sprints. So it meant that when I was doing those sprints, I was just setting myself up for a world of hurt over the next few days. So I played on Sunday morning. Monday was pretty much okay. My legs were aching and they were a little bit painful. My left one was quite painful, but it seemed to be not too bad. But then I just got the DOMS, which is the delayed onset of muscle soreness, that just started to unleash itself throughout the afternoon and the evening towards, yes, last night, where I couldn't walk very well on my left leg. And I think it's probably a case, or it was a case of a borderline pull of the muscle, rather than, because normally when you do a high intensity exercise, your muscles ache, but you don't lose total function. Whereas, yeah, I was struggling to put any weight on it at all yesterday. But I have been having my protein every 3.5 hours, so that it means that the muscle can be rebuilding itself and recovering. And I did sleep well last night. So when you sleep, it's the only time that your body releases a significant amount of growth hormone. So it means that when you're injured, sleeping is the best thing you can do. So that's why I made sure that last night I got a good night's sleep, even though I got a phone call at 9 a.m. Again, that woke me up. It's always the way when I want to sleep a lot. But I then said, I can't remember who it was that was the phone call, but anyway, it was about something, and but it's a very short phone call. So then I went back to bed straight away, so I didn't really suffer too much. I could then just go straight back to sleep because my body was definitely requiring some Zeds. Anyway, it meant that I got a good night's sleep, and then I've been having protein every 3.5 hours for all of today, and now I'd say it feels 50% better than yesterday. So I'm hoping that after tonight, if I get enough sleep, I can then feel 50% better again, and I think by tomorrow or the next day I'll be pretty much back to normal. Probably not back to sprinting, but I'm not bothered about that. Just walking around, doing everything, going up and down stairs, that'll be fine for me to get on with everything that I need to do. So that was it. So I can just blame my dad for that. And I think the problem is when I'm playing a sport, I can't not run or put in effort, especially when you're on a team. Like if somebody's got the ball and they're breaking towards the goal and I can see a space that I should run into to support the other player, then I just run into it. Regardless of how I don't think about the consequences of that and how much my legs are going to hurt afterwards. So I just do that and then, worry about it afterwards. So that is my situation at the moment. I have improved and my leg does feel better. So thank you for that, Lisa, for asking. And I mentioned that over on Patreon, by the way. That's why people know about this the situation with my legs. So thank you for that. What we'll do is we will jump into tonight's cover video just so we can get into the pick roulette and we can leave much time. Actually, we've had some donations in the super chat window as well. So let me just get through those very quickly. John has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, John. And the message is, woohoo! Made it to a live wingers party. So hello, John. If this is your first time, everyone say a big hello to John in the live chat room because it seems like this might be John's first one. So hello everybody in that live chat room tonight, also in that super chat window. But hello to you, John. I hope you're having a great time in that live chat room. And Carla has donated $4.99. Thank you for that, Carla. And the message is, Australia had an earthquake in Melbourne, felt 400 miles away, and Neil is picking stuff up. Wow. So, again, crazy weather occurrences in Australia. Hopefully everything is okay over in Australia. That sounds like quite a serious one. And I don't know whether they give the rating as to how strong the earthquake is, but I know that in my head, I think, imagine I think that a bad one is like 4 or 4.5 or something like that on, is it the Richter scale? I don't know. This is information that my brain is just giving me access to that I don't know whether my brain is actually giving me correct information or not, but that's just the word it's thrown up. So the Richter scale, apparently my head thinks measures earthquakes, and I'm not sure which numbers are bad. But I did see a movie recently called San Andreas, was it that? With The Rock, or Dwayne The Rock Johnson in it, and they were talking about earthquakes. So that's maybe where this information is coming from, that I think the numbers go from, maybe 1 to like 7 or something is the worst one ever. I do not know. But let's just have a little think about everybody over in Australia. That is crazy. That it's 400 miles away that it has been felt, an earthquake in Melbourne, Australia. So that's not something that I've seen on the news today. I haven't watched any news today here in the UK, but I'm sure there's going to be reports on that. So I might tune in a little bit later on to see if everything's okay over there as to how, if you're at the epicenter, again, another word my phone's thrown in there, another epicenter of the earthquake, then that's, hopefully they've got the buildings that can survive those. I know that there's older buildings that don't have the flexible frames in them in order to move with an earthquake, and it can do some massive damage, but hopefully everything is okay over there after the earthquake, and if there's any shockwaves as well. But thank you for that, Carla, and thank you, Rich, as well. for that $5 donation that's just come in. And the message is, hello Phil, your analysis videos are so good. Did you study music formally? Suggesting In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, Christmas Carol hidden in there. Thanks. So thank you for that, Rich. And thank you for the kind words about the video. I didn't study music formally. I just kind of picked up things along the way, and pretty much from the age of 19, probably... that's when I was getting into music quite a lot. I was actually studying, believe it or not, sport and exercise science. So that was due to my soccer background and my fitness, also my personal training that I used to do. I used to be a personal trainer when I was 18 and 19 years of age. But then when I was maybe 20 and 21, I then put everything else to kind of the back. Everything else took a back seat to music. So I then just got into music, started teaching guitar when I was 22 or 23, and I've been playing guitar since the age of like 11 or 12. So I had been looking into music quite a lot from that kind of age, looking at chords, but I very much learned to play by ear. So I was listening to records at my dad's old record player and his old turntable that I would get set up and put the pin on there very carefully as to not scratch my dad's records. But I'd be listening to Jimi Hendrix and trying to figure things out by ear, and that pretty much went for everything because the internet didn't exist when I was a kid. So I would listen to as much as I could, also listen to Van Halen on tape. And I mean, that was one hell of a mission trying to work out what he was doing because, it's just all sounded so crazy. But yes, I just picked it up as I went along. And especially with teaching, I think you need to have some relatively strong baseline, at least for a bit of theory, if you are teaching people how to play. Or what I like to do is just teach people how to play. And then if they want to know any theory behind what they're doing, then we can start looking at that. And obviously, if I'm teaching kids, sometimes their parents would want them to learn to play through the grading system here in the UK, which is ABRSM. And that is a curriculum, the 8 grades that you have to go through. And each grade, they have to sit an exam where they have to play 3 pieces, and they also have to show that they can read music, and they have to do that all to a particular level to then pass and move on to the next grade. But anyway, if I was doing that, then obviously I would have to teach these students how to read and how to play the pieces that they're required. But I mean, with my background, that was pretty much the only time I'd really get into theory is when I was teaching for the grading systems here in the UK. Other than that, I don't like really getting too much into theory, just because I know personally, if I start focusing on theory, it's a thought process that's totally different to how I personally play guitar. For example, because I'm used to listening to music and then playing it and pretty much singing through the guitar, I don't want to be thinking about anything theory based when I just like to sing through the guitar. I don't like to think, right, I should be playing this scale because we're changing to that scale, or that chord in the background, therefore we're changing to this scale. And the modes and everything that goes off, I find that when playing theory first, thinking about that first, you're not thinking about singing and coming up with your own melody lines. You're thinking about the notes that you can play over the top of that particular chord. So there's no kind of conscious melody creation going on. You're just it's almost like painting by numbers. You're putting your fingers in the correct place for the scale that you know, because you know the chord underneath is the chord that will complement the scale that you're playing. So, and vice versa. So it's not really, for me personally, a creative way of playing. I like to literally just fly by the seat of my pants and create stuff on the fly. And that's certainly something that Robin does, for example. Shatner's hairpiece, you'll find him on YouTube as well. He was on Under the Spotlight, but he's very much that approach as well, that just give him a backing track and he will play over the top of it, not thinking about any theory, just singing through the guitar, creating through the guitar without having to know the underlying chords or the progression or the scales that will go over the top of those chords. So yeah, I always say that when you listen to a bird sing, they're not thinking about the theory of the notes that they're singing. They're just creating their their voice with their notes that they're hitting. Again, they haven't pre-planned. They haven't written out the notes first. They are just singing, and that is just the ultimate for me to create. It's just to do whatever you feel like doing at that time, and don't get bogged down with you're thinking about scales and chords. But that's just me personally. There are other people that like to do it the other way around, which is absolutely fine as well. But anyway, thank you for that, Rich. And oh yes, the Inagada Davida that was requested. That was actually right at the end of the last live stream as well. Thank you for that, Rich. And yeah, that would be a good one to get into. I think that's one of those songs that it's a riff that I think it's been used so much in TV and movies. It's a riff that everybody knows. It's actually really progressive, but everybody knows it, even if you don't know that you know it. But anyway, yeah, that would be a cool one to get into just because of that fact that people go, oh, right, this is that riff that I know, or that song that I know, because there's different elements to it. Anyway, thank you for that, Rich. And Orlando has donated $5 as well. Thank you again. The message is, I must heat up dinner, chicken stir fry. I will listen in, spike the likes with lots of thumbs up. So thank you for that. Let me jump into the cover for, I know that I said I'd play the cover for tonight about 10 or 15 minutes ago, but let me just click on this so that I can end the poll, which I have just done. I should have looked at what the percentage was first. So let's wait to see it come through, because it's been confirmed as 64% for Free Fallin'. So thank you everyone for voting tonight. And it was 35% for Don't Slow Down, and it was 205 people that voted. So thank you everyone for voting. And if you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, it would be much appreciated if you could. We're looking for 38 people to click on that thumbs up to get ourselves to tonight's pick roulette goal. I think it's 38. If my maths is correct. I've just redone it in my head, and it is. So anyway, let's jump into not the pick roulette. The pick roulette comes after the cover video. This is the cover video for tonight, and thank you for voting for this, my version of Tom Petty's Free Fallin'. I hope you guys enjoy it, and obviously, this is, I think I introduced it as the tribute, as you guys would have seen when I first released this video. It was following the sad news of his passing. But yes, this is Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, of course. And I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys after. Rock! She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus and America too. She's a good girl, she's crazy about Elvis, loves horses and a boyfriend too. And it's a long day living in Reseda, and there's a freeway running through the yard. I'm a bad boy, 'cause I don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart. And I'm free, free falling. Yeah, I'm free, free falling. And there we have it. That was my version of Tom Petty's classic Free Fallin'. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Thank you for requesting that over on Patreon and for voting for it in the poll tonight. So it looks like we're looking for 10 people in the live chat room to get ourselves up to the Pick Roulette likes goal. So we are almost there. There has been another donation in the PayPal window as well. So thank you for this, Sue, who has donated £20. So that is a straight up donation without a message. So thank you for that, Sue. And there has been another one that's come in on the super chat window. So thank you for this, Terry. It's a $5 donation and the message is: could you share your thoughts on Jaco Pastorius, if you have any? Would live if you could do a reaction video of him. So thank you for that, Terry. And the thing, I mean, at the moment on the channel, I do get asked to look at bassists now and again, but at the moment I tend to just focus on guitar players or guitarists and singers, just because I feel like that's because I've taught singing and playing guitar, mostly been a guitar teacher for over 15 years. I always say over 15 years because I don't want to think about how long it actually is, but yeah, I've been teaching guitar for a very long time, so I feel like when I'm analysing an artist, if they play guitar, I can at least add something to it, because I've been pretty much analysing guitar players for all of my teaching career, or pretty much since I was 11 years old, trying to figure out what people are playing and how they're doing what they're doing. But I feel like playing the guitar, I can, put something across, maybe teach people who play guitar something about how to play a particular song or a particular technique, how to implement it, or even people that don't play the guitar, just point out things that are going on. Same vocally, I can explain about, chest voice, head voice, falsetto, ranges, the notes that are being hit, all that kind of stuff, because I have done that in the past as well. So I feel like I've got a little bit of a background that I can add to an artist, whereas playing bass, I know that I play bass on my covers, but I don't really see myself as a fully fledged bassist. I am just a guitarist who plays bass a little bit, and I pretty much say that on the other instruments I have learned them to a standard to get away with it so that I can do covers, but I have just spent most of my time on guitar and then most of my time on vocals to make sure that those two are at a level where I feel like I can do them quite well. And the other ones I just kind of get away with. I think if you do play guitar, then bass is quite easy to make that transition over, just for playing your root notes and your fifths, and just using your basic pentatonic shapes. You can throw in little runs and it will pretty much cover you for most mainstream tracks, most pop tracks, and most rock as well, even hard rock. You won't get into any really technical playing. I mean, unless you look at level 42, then you have to be really on the top of your game, because Mark King is just in a totally different league, technically playing. But talking about just great bassists, I mean, Jaco Pastorius, like I said, I focus mostly on guitar players at the moment, and if I started doing bassist as well, I'm sure that I could probably mention things about playing, but I would, my request list would then almost get double as long, because people will start requesting bassists, and so it's not something that I'm doing at the moment, but I never say never. It might be something that can happen in the future, but I very much feel like guitar and vocals are my speciality area, and those are pretty much what I'm focusing on. Also, from a live performance perspective, I can look at a band, because I've been playing live for a very long time. I can look at a band and probably feel that I can point out things that people might not notice about live performances and how they're put together by bands and what they have to spend time rehearsing in order to bring their album to the live stage. But anyway, thank you for that, Terry, for that donation. We are going to be jumping into the actually, I think we might have one picture. There is one picture. I remember that we have a picture from a person who was on the last live stream and also uploaded a picture. So let me go and get the background up on screen so you guys can see it. And this is, you might be able to recognize from the picture, because it's such an amazing picture that has been done. Again, this is, well, you guys know that this is Vince, don't you? But this is Bev, who artistically, her talents have been on the channel before, but again, an amazing likeness with Vince. And there's a Vince with his dog, and then some guy on the right who's just gate crashing the whole thing. You can see Vince has got his tumbler in hand, and there's some picks there. There's the signed pick because Vince won in the pick roulette once, and the pick 10 as well. And I think that is the warnings little badge or pin. I'm not sure what they called them over in the USA. I know that Vince said what this was. It's like a button. Was it a button? We call it a badge here in the UK, but maybe it's a button over in the USA. So there we go. There. I mean, thank you, Vince, for sending that to me, and also a huge thank you to Bev for drawing that and just making it look amazing. And also the fact that, I mean, drawing dogs has got to be difficult. I mean, I can't even draw a face, like a human face, let alone a dog's face. So, yeah, just amazing work there on the whole from Bev, but also from Vince, uploading this, setting it all out so we can see everything in its glory. So, thank you for that, Vince. And that is the only picture for tonight. So last time we were taking a look at Vince with his groceries that he was collecting. And this time, yeah, we get to look at some pics and a fantastic piece of art as well. So anyway, we're going to be jumping into the pick roulette for tonight. So I mean, commiserations to Mel already, who I've picked out as my top tip for tonight. But let's get jumping into this. It is 1 AM already here in the UK, so let's move on with this so that we have passed 300 likes. Thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. You can still hit that thumbs up. It really does help the channel to grow and for these live streams to get out there. But let's jump into tonight's Tuesday night pick roulette, and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock! So let's get the pick roulette up on screen, and there it is. And you can see that Carla has added a couple more t-shirt roulette sections. I'm not sure what we call them, but you can see the hearts going around. They're marked by the black hearts. So if we land on one of those, then we're going to be having another roulette, and it's going to be the t-shirt roulette, where you can win yourselves a custom-made bleached Wings of Pegasus t-shirt that is signed. So anyway, let's give the names a bit of a shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let me see if I can see Mel's name on there. Anyway, there's quite a lot of names. There's always a lot of names on here. So thank you everybody for entering. I can't make it out, but I know that Mel is on there somewhere. So let's give the wheel a spin and let's see who's going to win. And as I always say, if you want to double your chances of winning, make sure that you tune in on Tuesdays and Saturdays, because we have a live stream on Saturday nights as well. So we're starting to slow down so we can see the names coming through. We just have Sandra going through there, Steve, Carl, Paul. There's a t-shirt coming up, or Brooke, Jennifer, Patty. Is it going to get as far as Rebecca? I don't know, or Michelle. It looks like it's, and there it is. It has got as far as Rebecca. Let me move it over so that you guys can see the name in full. There we have it. So congratulations, Rebecca. If you can let yourself be known in the live chat room, that would be fantastic, so that you can receive the signed Wings of Pegasus pick, and Carla can organise everything with you. So congratulations to Rebecca, commiserations to Mel and everybody else. But there's always another chance to win. There will be another chance to win next week, because we have hit the Pick Roulette likes goal for tonight. So let me remove everything off the screen so that we can now start to type in the live chat room in order to get your name on next week's Pick Roulette wheel. Just type at Carla Murray, which means that we are tagging Carla, and then you click on her name and then type I agree, exclamation mark. And you'll be able to see my comment going through the live chat room. And you just have to, tag Carla in that. As you can see, Carla's just said, post I agree at Carla Murray now. And there's my example one there. If you just keep an eye on the live chat room, you'll start to see lots of those comments going through, people all typing the same thing. That is how you get your name on the Pick Roulette wheel for next week. So just do that. And while we are leaving a little bit of time for you guys to do that, let's see if we can get a cartoon on the go. I didn't really pay attention as to which cartoon was going to get suggested, but before we do, let me just jump into the PayPal window because there has been another donation in there. So thank you for this, Steve, who has donated £1. Thank you for that. And the message is, can you slap the bass or do you avoid that? So thank you for that, Steve. And in the covers that I have done, there hasn't been any slap bass yet, but I have messed around with it. Watching Mark King do it, it's something that I think when you watch him do it, you just start to kind of get involved with it and start slapping your thumb against those strings. So it's not something that I have done in a cover, but I have messed around with that sound. Just because it's quite fun to do, but I don't think that I would do it all the time, just purely because of playing bass is a lot heavier. Obviously the strings are a lot thicker, but it's just a lot heavier on the hands, and I have to keep my hands in pretty good condition. So if I, for example, start playing guitar, if there's a particular lead section that I'm going over, or if I was teaching a particular lead section, I'd have to keep on repeating it to learn it. And sometimes when you're playing a lead section over and over and over and over again for an extended amount of time, then it's quite hard on the fingers, especially if I'm then teaching acoustic and teaching a few acoustic lessons in a row. That's quite hard on the fingers as well. So then playing bass and being more aggressive with that side of things, I think just to keep my hands in tip-top condition for playing the guitar, I don't tend to spend a lot of time on playing bass. So like I said, I just kind of get things up to a particular level where I can get away with it and really do focus on guitar after that. But anyway, thank you for that, Steve. And there has been another donation that has come in from Lois as well, who has donated £5.46. So thank you for that. And the message is, watched your analysis on Garth Brooks singing If Tomorrow Never Comes, which is a fave of mine. The things I learned were great. Didn't notice or pay attention to everything before. Thanks. With some rock horns. So thank you for that, Lois, and just for watching the videos. I'm glad that you got something out of them. That's the main aim, really, is for me to hopefully point out something that people might have missed in the first place when they first heard the song, or even if they're fans of the song, something that they might not notice before about it, either in a live setting or instrumentally, how it's played. But anyway, thank you for that, Lois. Now, we will jump into a cartoon. I'm not sure. I'm going to look into the live chat room to see, again, the first cartoon that is requested, we will have a look at. So I know that there is a little bit of a delay that happens between me talking and then it going out on the internet. And I think that's probably I can see Library, Please Phil by Laurie. So we will have a look at that one. I think there's a little bit of a delay from YouTube side of things for a safety side, but then again, it's not much of a delay. That's pretty quick. So it might just be a case of wherever you are in the world and how long it takes to get to your location. But let me now try and find the real life story of the library, and I have found it. So this is your last call, everybody, to type I agree. Make sure that you tag Carla Murray in your comment in the live chat room to get your name on next week's Pick Roulette pick roulette wheel, because we've hit the likes for tonight, which was 300. We're at 341. So thank you everyone for keeping on, hitting that thumbs up. If you are new coming into that live chat room, if you can give a thumbs up as you come through the door, that will be great. But I'll see you guys after this, where we will be calling it to a close, because we're almost at 1:10 here in the UK in the morning. So I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
Guys, I'm so excited. I have just managed to get us an awesome gig.
Well, I do hope our definition of awesome coincide.
Well, I know a guy who works at a pub and he said we can play there this Friday night.
You know a guy. So far, to be honest, I'm on the fence about this gig. Persuade me. Where is the venue? Will I have heard of it?
The pub is called the Golden Guff. It is in Surrey. My friend has told me it will be amazing. We need this gig.
Well, it certainly sounds like a reputable joint. It's about an hour's drive, but I'm going to trust you on this. Let's book the gig.
We won't regret it. The place will be packed. I can't wait.
Wowzers, this pub really looks like a library. Hello there. Do you work here?
Yes, I do.
Yes, we do need help. Thanks for asking. We are the band who are playing here this evening. What is the plan?
Are you sure there's live music tonight?
Well, I ruddy hope so. If not, my bandmate has yet again stitched me up, as well as himself. So, who is in charge?
I am the only person working here tonight.
Well, at least we know, therefore it will not be busy tonight. Great. Where is the stage, and we'll start to set up?
Well, whenever someone has played an acoustic guitar, they have been sitting here, so you can play in this area.
Oh my guff heck of frig. You may actually notice there are tables and sofas in the way, not to mention just being a woeful position for music.
I'm afraid you'll have to move the table and sofas out of the way then.
Well, as I'm a musician and I want to play, I will do this manual labor in addition to the hour's drive. I also assume we are not getting paid for this gig.
That is correct.
At least you're holding up your end of the bargain. Well, let's get to work, guys. These sofas look like the heaviest sofas we will ever lift in our lives.
I'll leave you to it, and I'll make sure that if you need anything, I will be impossible to find.
Many thanks for following standard protocol. Great job, guys. It only took an hour and I think I've got a hernia. But I'm sure it will all be totally worth it and not a gig we should have declined. Just the person I was looking for. So, where is the PA? Is it quite heavy to lift? And also, how many channels does your mixer have?
We don't have a PA here.
Ha 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 ha. That was a fantastically great joke. Wasn't it? Or should I say, it better have been.
No, what you see is what we have.
That, I'm afraid, is sweet guffaw. Well, what do you usually do on live music nights then?
Jacob usually does all the band stuff. He's not here today, but I have his number if you want to talk to him.
That might be an idea. At least every last detail of this gig has been meticulously planned by the venue, otherwise we could all look like absolute total amateurs. Hello Jacob, I'm Phil from the band that are playing at your pub tonight. Where is the PA? And the mixer? For the gig? Okay, so it's in your car. And you are in your car at the moment. And you're 5 hours drive away. Do you think this may be an issue? Considering we're playing in 45 minutes, you didn't realize what the time was? Oh well, that is a very acceptable excuse. I mean, how could anyone ever have foreseen these unlikely turn of events? Unbelievable. So here is the situation. The PA is 5 hours away. We have 45 minutes until we start. So this venue has quite truly rogered our collective bums in the guff.
Oh dear. I can't help feeling partially responsible for us being in this position.
Yes, I wonder why that is.
Just so you know, your friends and family are also just starting to arrive. They must have made the hour-long drive to support you.
Oh. Great. Well, as ridiculous as this sounds, I have purchased my own PA, so that if a music venue is retarded enough to not have any equipment, I have everything. It just so happens it's in my sister's boyfriend's van, who should be here shortly. So, it seems that you as a collective venue won't have egg on your face. You jammy dodgers.
I don't understand.
Oh, just that to the innocent onlooker, you'll look like you have a great PA system and are a great live music venue, when in fact you are actually a total load of rubbish guff venue. With no idea, and couldn't organize a piss-up in a brewery. Present location accepted. No offense.
None taken.
You are seriously mentally vacant. I'm going to slag off this pub to my family now. Bye.
And there we have it. That was one of my real life stories. So thank you for requesting that one. And we've had a couple of donations and we are going to be finishing in a second. But just to address these, Ginny has donated $5. Thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, I hope someone else moved that big couch. Have you thought about selling copies of the tunes? So thank you for that. I haven't thought about selling copies of the cartoons. They're just something that I did, I think, to vent my frustrations of just being out there gigging, going through these kind of things on a pretty regular basis of just people not being able to organise anything and then having to do everything yourself, as I found that actually in the end it's better if I do everything myself and it just gets done a lot more efficiently. But thank you for that. And I mean, the couches were proper leather couches that were just ridiculous in terms of the weight, just properly heavy. So they were, I mean, when I say about the heaviest sofas that we've ever lifted in the cartoon, it probably was like that. I mean, my dad had these kind of lazy boy sofas that are leather as well, and they're quite heavy. But these ones in this pub that looked like a library, but it was a pub, were just ridiculously heavy. So yeah, I didn't actually get a hernia, but it's probably quite close. But anyway, thank you for that, Ginny. And just to mention that David has donated in the PayPal window as well. Thank you for that, David. I'll get this up on screen. And it is a £100 donation. So thank you so much for that, David. A very kind donation. And the message is, keep on keeping on. And I will do indeed. So thank you, David, and everyone for your donations tonight. I can see that another one's just popped in to that PayPal window as well. Diana has donated £25 as well. Thank you for that, Diana. And the message is, I've missed many live streams due to my lesson being half hour later. Glad to be back tonight. Your channel inspires me to keep learning and playing. So thank you for that, Deborah, for tuning in, for that donation. But just keep on playing. That is the most important thing. And there is an advert for, I mean, because of the nature of the videos that I make on YouTube, I get lots of adverts because they're all catered to the person who's, obviously I'm watching lots of performance videos and lots of different artists on YouTube. So I get lots of adverts for like guitar courses and people saying how to play guitar. And there's this one advert, I can't remember what the business is, but he says there's a guy with long hair and a beard, and he says there's one factor that is going to determine whether you are successful or unsuccessful at learning the guitar if you're starting playing it later on in your life. And he kind of makes out that there's one thing that's going to determine whether whether it's going to be good or whether you're just totally going to fail. And the one thing, because I've watched it, because I thought I know that the way that they're saying it is to try and sell a course. So of course everybody then thinks, oh, I want to be able to play the guitar. So what is this? There's always one magic tip or one thing. Like I see it in golf videos as well. One amazing tip to hit your driver straight and 300 yards. There's never anything that exists that does that. It's just something that's, they're trying to sell a course, trying to get you onto their golf swing course, for example. There's never one tip that is going to suddenly make you into a PGA Tour player from being an amateur just because you've watched their video. And especially on golf videos, it's always professionals that are swinging and smacking it straight for 300 yards and say, see, all I did was the thing that I told you to do and look what I've done. No, it's because you started playing when you were 4 years of age. That's why it's gone there. Anyway, let's not get started on that. But yeah, the one thing that will determine whether you succeed or fail if you want to start learning guitar later on in life is regular practice. That's the one thing that you then find out that he says. It's regular practice. Those people that start playing and then stop playing don't succeed. And it is like, you can say, yeah, that's really obvious, but obviously they're trying to sell a course. They're trying to get you to buy something. So they are going to say that. But what I've always said on this channel is when I was learning to play the guitar, and I think this is probably a better thing to look at it or angle to look at it from, if you're learning to play an instrument or if you're looking to learn anything, just do it every day, even for 30 seconds. Like sometimes I didn't have time to pick up the guitar and do lots of practice, but I could play a D chord or do a D shape, an A shape and a G shape in 30 seconds. And that's all I would do for that day if I didn't have time. If because I started playing when I was a kid, and if I had homework to do or whatever, and I had maybe a busy day the next day, I had to go to bed early, so I would just get my fingers on the fretboard. So it doesn't matter that you're not doing it for like half an hour a day. Just do something tiny a day, even 30 seconds, and then so I have just reset the live stream to see if that is going to work and whether it's going to bring us back online. It looks like everything on YouTube is fine, but anyway, I will call this to a close now. I'm not sure how much of that you guys got about learning to play an instrument, but like I just said a second ago, that if you're learning any skill, if you do it just a little bit every day, then when it all adds up after a multitude of years, you'll be very good at that one particular skill because you've been doing it every day, even just for a tiny amount of time. It all adds up. But anyway, thank you for joining me tonight, and I know that we just had a little bit of buffering going on, but I'm just going to get into that PayPal window as well, because we've had a donation from Naz, who has donated £5.08. Thank you for that. The message is, hey, it's Naz. You are awesome, Phil, and I'm going to learn drums as soon as I'm out of lockdown so I can jam with you when I'm in London next year. So thank you for that, Naz. And same thing, same approach there with drums. Just do it a little bit every day. It doesn't matter how much time you can dedicate to it. Obviously, the more the better, but don't worry about just playing for 30 seconds or a minute if that's all you can fit in, because it really does top up your brain's learning. If anything, it keeps your learning at the same level rather than just not doing it at all and then falling off. But anyway, thank you for that, Naz. And Julia has donated £52.59. So thank you for that, Julia. A very kind donation. And the message is, keep rocking on, Phil. Love your videos. So thank you for that, Julia. And thank you for watching the videos. And a big thank you to all of you guys for joining me tonight. I'm going to call it to a close now before we get any more Circle of Death going on. But we are pretty much done for tonight. Orlando's just donated $2 as well. Thank you for that. And messages. Thank you for another great live stream. Bye all. So thank you for that, Orlando. And bye to all of you guys in that live chat room. I hope that you have a great rest of the week. I'm going to be back here tomorrow night on the channel with another analysis video, another one on Friday as well, and then I'll be back live on Saturday night. So make sure you tune in there to double your chances of winning on the pick roulette. And a huge shout out to the moderators as well for doing such a great job during these live streams. And finally, a shout out to all of you guys to stay safe as possible. Follow your your government's guidelines with everything that they might be requesting that you do with regards to masks, socially distancing yourselves, all of that kind of stuff. So thank you for joining me tonight, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!